Senator Shaheen has a statement. She's apparently not coming to the ball tonight.
Oh, okay.
She's upset that the president endorsed a proposal to put South Carolina ahead of New Hampshire, and she says that New Hampshire is now vulnerable for her party. Does the president have a response to that?
So look, we honor the Hatch Act, as I mentioned many times before here, as we are talking about a potential election, a 2024 presidential election. But looking backward, it is the ultimate irony, that the 2020 election was proven by the Trump administration's Homeland. Oh, sorry, I think I got ahead of myself there. We take the law very seriously here, and so that's the number one thing. And again, I want to be very careful because of 2024. And it places strict limits on what I can say because of the Hatch Act about future elections and, of course, political party processes. I know I was asked this question many times before about the DNC, and so I've always referred folks to go to the DNC. But again, as a candidate in 2020, and as we have heard the night of the New Hampshire primary, Joe Biden was very clear that to him, respecting our diversity as a nation and breaking down barriers for our people is a fundamental principle. And so he believes that what Democrats in office stand for, and he has upheld that principle as president. And so, again, you've seen him do that throughout his almost 2 years in administration, making sure that we see the diversity within his administration that is represented clearly across the country, and he wants to honor those values. And so that's as far as I'm going to get from here about the specific calendar. Again, don't want to get into politics as it relates to political parties. Okay.
Karine, can you talk about with Congress considering repealing the COVID vaccine mandate for service members in the NDAA? John Kirby spoke earlier about the president's position, Secretary Austin's position of wanting obviously to keep it. So what is the White House prepared to do for that aspect of it, and is the president personally engaging with lawmakers on this?
So look, when the president met with the Big Four just last week, as you all know, Leader McCarthy raised eliminating the requirement that service members be vaccinated against COVID-19. So clearly they had a conversation, as you asked me about talking to members. The president told him that he would consider it, but also made clear that he wanted to consult with the Pentagon. And since then, as we've all heard, the Secretary of Defense has recommended retaining the mandate. That's because the COVID vaccination requirement was put in place to keep our service members safe and healthy and prepared for service. And I would remind, I remind all of you that the Pentagon has a range of vaccines it has long required. So this is nothing new. This is, there's history here. There's precedent. So with respect to NDAA, those discussions are ongoing. I don't want to get ahead of it, but clearly, as I just mentioned, it was brought up in their conversation that he had with the Big Four last week.